What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button and that notification button for more movie reviews, my takes on movie reviews that I've seen recently, as well as short films that I make. I've made some over the years, and I'm currently releasing one next year in January. So if you haven't seen Celestial Echoes, Cheers of the Stars, or Celestial Echoes, Dread of Twilight, please check them out. Have the trailers up if you just want to maybe have a gander of what it's about, as well as the trailer for Celestial Echoes Remnants of the Past, which is the film that I will be releasing in January. So please hit that subscribe button. I do appreciate the support. Leave comments on any of my videos. I will get back to you. Keep it professional. And let's get straight to it. Avatar Fire and Ash is actually my second. I'm not sure if it's my first favorite out of the three, but definitely like it more than the second one, which I didn't have a problem with. However, I think the films are a little too long for my liking because I'm not as invested in these films. Like I like going to see them, but then it's not a franchise where I'm like I have to go watch the next film or I want to read up about the production and whatnot. But they're fun films and I do like them. But I did like the third one a lot. I just don't know if it's better than the first one yet, but I do like it over two. So that's a good thing. You always want a sequel to be better than the one before it. Um, the second one I don't dislike at all, even if it's not over the first one. But I still like it. They're all like neck and neck with each other. But again, like I said, the franchise it's nothing to brag about. I don't know why I'm not as invested as I guess I would like to be. I think one of the problems that I have for the film, as I've mentioned, is I think it's a little too long for my liking. That's probably why. But some of the dialogue is a little. It's a hit and miss for me. Well, not even a hit. It's more of a miss for me. And I guess to say the character of Spider, who is the boy, who he's not from the planet but ends up staying with them. He wears the mask and he's pretty much almost naked throughout the whole film. I think I just don't like that character as much when it comes to dialogue. Like he doesn't bother me visually. I get it, I understand, why he is the way he is. He's living with them. I don't know why he's not with the humans that are in, elsewhere and they have to wear the mask if they're outside, but they have their own little base. I don't know why he's not just with them. Like, I don't know why he's with is it Sully or Jake? I forget the name of the character, the main character. But I don't know why he's living with them instead of just staying with the people where he doesn't always have to have a mask for most of the time. So I might have missed something there, but he pretty much stays with this group, and he's like the cousin, I guess, or like a brother. But then he was kind of had like that little intimate scene with I think Kiri is her name, played by Sigourney Weaver, the girl where they kind of kiss. But I'm like, aren't you kind of like family? But he's probably the only character that, again, I don't dislike him. I hate his dialogue. And you're on Pandora, you're not on Earth, so why are you talking the way you are and whatnot when you're in this other planet with this other culture? So I think that's probably where the disconnect comes from for me as far as the character and just the writing. Like I just think something's missing there. I would have made him less Earth-like than and more Pandora-like with the Navi. But big shout out to Una. I think it's Una Chaplin who plays Varang, the fire, the Ash people, the leader. Like she was my favorite character in the film. Great presence, the acting was spot on. Like I fell in love with the character. She's this like the villain, but I just enjoyed her so much. Every time she was on screen, I was just like more. It was great to see the Ash people, a different side of the Navi that go against. They don't like Awa. They just they want to burn everything and steal. And I really like that part of the film. Another criticism I will say is that it felt like a lot of like the last film, beat for beat, which I'm not necessarily. It's not necessarily a problem for me when it's beat for beat because there are changes and differences, but I just feel like it feels a little similar to the other film in general, beat for beat. Obviously, new things happen. You have the antagonist in Quaritch, who's nonstop wanting to find, I believe, is this Sully, the main character? And he eventually sides with Varang after kind of siding with Sully. We'll just call him Sully. I think that's the name, but I can't. It escapes me right now. You know, he eventually sides with him because he wants to get his son Spider, who, if you didn't see the second one, you know, rescues him from almost dying in the second film. So you know, he just kind of wants him, but also Sully, and ends up teaming up with Varang, and then there's that love interest there, and you know, I really enjoyed it more than the last one. Again, the whole length is what really kills it for me, but because of what was happening in this film, as far as the action or just what was going on, I kind of was more invested, and I wasn't as like staring at my watch for this. Oh, is it almost done yet? This film, because it's just dragging. But I like where it was going. You know, again, beat for beat, but there are differences and there's things happening, and I was really just invested, and I like what I see in that. I want another film because this one wasn't the way it ended. It wasn't like a finale, but if they had to end it there, I guess you can say that they could just end it there, and you know, you can think of how you want it to end in general with the humans, you know, that went to Earth to terraform or whatever, Pandora. But like, it's definitely not finalized of what's going on. And I would like one more film. I think they were doing two more, but I'm like, I really don't want to see a fifth film unless there's something's drastically changed. But I think the next film is where it should end because after a while of waiting years from the first one to the second one, even though the third one came out not long after the second one, I just don't want to wait any longer. And I just wanted to, you know, I want to see an end, you know, whether it's happy ending or a sad ending. Like I just wanted to finish because I think after a while it just drags and it's like, where are we going? The same things similarly are happening, and it doesn't feel like there's an end result. Quaritch at the ending, he jumps off of the floating rocks and into the fire or the water. Doesn't look like they make it seem like he's probably gonna die, but it doesn't look like he would necessarily die from that. So I don't think he's dead when it comes to that. But yeah, we'll see. You know, they started filming the fourth one already for the most part, so it's not like they have much work to do. Like the second and third films were shot back to back, and the fourth one, has some shooting already done. But I don't know if they're gonna go with the elements because the first one, Avatar, and the tree people, and then the second one, Way of Water, more water focused, and the third one, Fire and Ash, was more so the ash people and them using fire and the volcano setting here and there in that area, but still swimming in water involved. But it's like it makes you wonder what's the next one gonna be? Is it gonna be more Earth based? Are we gonna get underground Navi? Maybe gray skin, even though the Ash people had gray skin. I would say I think that was more so the makeup, like gray and red. But if that's what they're gonna do with that, I don't think it's necessary. But I feel like that's what I'm expecting, like Earth based Navi underground. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I think if you've invested yourself in the Avatar franchise and you haven't seen it yet, you're unsure, and you probably gave up, and you're watching this or other people's reviews, maybe kind of help you get an idea, and you don't care for spoilers because obviously I do spoilers. I don't go crazy with the spoilers, but I'll mention I do give it 2 thumbs up, and I say check it out. If you saw the first two, especially the last one, I think it's better than the last one. I think you'll really be entertained, especially the Varang Navi again, Una Chaplin. Like she was a scene stealer, or she is the scene stealer. She was great in the role, and you'd probably fall in love with the character like I did. But again, Avatar: Fire and Ash, check it out for sure. I recommend it. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think if you did see it. Let's have a conversation about it. I will get back to you. And until next time.